Assalamu alaikum, hello everyone, and welcome back to another very exciting tutorial. We are proceeding with our project. Now, as you remember, we did a lot of things. We did the finishing and many stuff. Now, I just came and organized I placed everything inside the folder and named it as game. I made another one and called it levels because this is what we are going to talk about today. So I want to load a button, and that will be the levels button. So I'll just go and create from strip. You will have this in the assets you downloaded, and the size is 66 by 68, obviously, and we have 2 by 2. Good. We have these two buttons. The red one is on the left, and the black one is on the right. So great. I'm going to center that and call it sprites B for button and levels. Good. And we are going to create an object inside levels, and we'll call it O levels. Good, and I'll give it the sprite. Great. We will have a create event inside that. We will write a code. Let me just make that a little bit bigger. Good. First thing first, we'll just freeze the image speed, so say. Next, there is this very tricky way to assign the number of the level to the button. So let's say we have 20 levels. Now, how to tell this button that this button is for level 5 or 6 or whatever level it is? There is a very tricky way, and it's by counting how many buttons are there. So for example, we created a button. We will tell this button, see how many object button has been created, and we'll see there is just one, and so it will assign number 1 to that, and so on. When it reaches 5, it will check and see how many buttons have been created. I'll see 5 buttons, so say I'm number 5. You will just see this when I will demonstrate that. I hope that it will come clear to you. So say I, for instance, equal, I means instance, equals to instance number, and we'll give it the name of the object, which is all levels. Next, I'm going to lock this level, obviously, so say locked equals true. And next, I'm going to assign the image index to the locked. So if it's locked, then it's locked, and if it's not, then the next image index will appear. Now I'm going to add another event, and it will be the left release, the mouse left released. Here we will check if we are not locked. Okay, we'll just go to the next room, which is room game. So we'll say room, go to room game. Great. Now there is another thing, and that is telling the game that we want to open this level. So I will use a global variable and call it, let's call it R level. Okay, R level. Okay, so R level equals I, which is what we just said. Okay, and this is going to be a global variable. I will just create another object to tell and write the global variable equals R level, and R level equals 1 by default. Now we'll do that later. It's not important now. We'll have a draw event. In the draw event, I'm going to draw the number of the level, obviously, but before that we'll draw the button itself. So draw self. Then, if not locked, we don't want to draw a number on a locked button. Okay, I will set a font, and I believe our font 0 is fit for that, so I'll set font 0. Next, I will align the font horizontally and vertically to the center and the middle. Next, we will draw the level number, so we will say draw text color x, y minus 1, so I'll just push it 1 pixel, I, which is the indicator for the level number, c black, and till the end. Great. Okay, so I think this is ready. Now we need an object to create these guys. So we'll say we'll create an object and call it operator. Good. In the create event, I will just go and add some variables which are very important. And they are we should know how many levels we are creating. So first we will say total, which is the total amount of levels. So let's say that we are creating 40 levels. Okay, let's say 45. Okay, next we'll see we are going to create these buttons. So we'll use a for statement, but before that I want to use another variable to check for buttons created. So we'll say BC for buttons created equals to 0, because there is no button created for now. Next we'll use the for statement for creating the buttons, and this is the global way to create buttons. So say for, and we use I equals 0, and we are going to create these buttons horizontal. If you watch the match game, the match game tutorial which I had, I already explained there how to create gems, in our case buttons. So I equals 0, now we are doing the vertical way. So let's do the horizontal way here. So horizontally, I think we will have, let's say, 4 buttons. So say I is less than 4, then I plus plus. So this is horizontally. Next, we are just going to do it vertically. So we use J instead of I. And vertically, we don't know how many. But for example, I have 45. So if we say 45 divided by 4 will give us 11 point something. So instead of 11 point something, I will use 12. Okay. And we will create the buttons here. But before that, I want to see if we reached the total number of levels. So we will say if BC is less than total, then create the buttons. So say instance create. And here's the tricky part, where to create the button. Now in our case, in the size of my room, I checked and found that if the button would be, first you should count the distance between the buttons, how much the distance should be. Then you need to create the buttons. Now when I counted, I called that the distance between each button should be, for example, 100 pixel. Then you should arrange that. So for example, you will say like 270 minus, okay, the 100 pixel, but in our case not 100, but instead 50, because it's in the middle and we're creating only 4. So minus 50 equals 220, and minus 100 equals 120, obviously. So we'll start with 120. Okay, then we'll say plus I times times 100, which is what we said, the distance between the buttons. Next we do the Y, and I think I'll use just the same amount. I will say 120 plus, and we can use the same, it's okay. J times, let's use 110. I think it will look cooler. Then we say O levels. Then we increment the buttons created, so BC plus plus. Now, if we already reached the total, I want to cancel creating any other button, so say else exit. And it's basically just exiting the entire create event. Great. Now if we come to the room game, not a room game, I'm just going to duplicate this room game, not group, duplicate, and call it room levels. Good. And I will just go and remove the object inside there and put the operator inside. And push that to be the first level, the first room to be started. Now, if we run the game, we are having a problem and it's locked. It seems that we don't have any variable as blocked. Oh, how bad. So you see we have the levels now here. And the levels are sorted in a very good way, except for that we have levels down there. So they are not visible here in the room. So I'm going to use a very cool method of panning, that like using the same way in the device. So it will scroll down to see the rest of the levels. But I guess that have to wait till the next episode. But before that, I'm gonna just go and do a progress code to unlock the first room, obviously. So if we come to the operator, the operator, we'll use a global variable. Okay, so we'll say here, well, before that we can use like loading the progress, I would say PRG, for example, for progress, and it will equal to 1 initially. Now this is doing nothing for now, but later on we will change that. So we use global variable global.prg in the all levels. So if we come to create event here, it's actually going to change a lot of things. For example, after locked, okay, now here we say that if it's unlocked previously, leave it unlocked. So we say if I, which is the number of the instance, is less than and global.prg, then we say locked equals false. That's it. And since we stated that global PRG equals 1, then our first level should be open. But it's not. Why? My bad. It should be less or equals to global progress. So here's this, it works now, and it doesn't look great, the font actually. I'm gonna change that. Let's go and create a font. Let's actually duplicate font 0 and just change this size. I'll just make it. Oh, that's better. Not terrible. That's better. So you see level 1 is open and obviously it's unlocked. So if I press on level 1, it will open the level. But if I press on the locked buttons, it will not open anything for me. And there's one thing else which is bothering me, and it's the background. I'm going to change that and use the background 1. I think that's better. So that's it for this tutorial. You will have the panning in the next tutorial, and I don't really know what we will do in the next one. So I hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. I hope you learned something today, and I'm quite sure that you did. So please like the video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you didn't subscribe yet, and you guys have a great day.